Okay, we're ready to start. Okay, let me get this off the screen.
Everything's good.
Okay, this is for 5051 Ogden Street. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Ryan McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Jay Scoria, Department of License and Inspections.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia License and Inspections.
Okay, for Ogden Street, the owner, if he's going to testify, and the architect, I'm going to swear you in individually. I'll go with the owner first. Please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Please respond.
I do.
Okay, the architect, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Please
Yes, I do.
respond.
I do.
Okay, we don't have to swear the lawyer in. Phil, put it into the record.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, can I get the architect's full name, please?
Is it Travis?
Trevor Henry.
Trevor Henry.
And for the record, he's an engineer, not an architect.
I'm an engineer.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know if that's promoting you or demoting you. I don't know.
promoting
And the owner's name. Do you need his for the court reporter?
Mr. Fender, could you identify yourself to the court?
David Fender, owner.
Okay.
of
Thank
50
you.
Okay, Phil, put it into the record, please.
This is case number 1 on today's list, MI 2023-003150 for the property located at 5051 Ogden Street. The appellant is John Taylor, Esquire.
Okay, all right, Tom, could you tell us a little bit about this case, please?
I'm going to be sworn in first.
Oh, yeah, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, all right, tell us a little bit.
So I have a property at 5051 Ogden Street. As we are not the appellant that filed for today's hearing, I'm going to reserve for my opening statement at the conclusion of the appellant's counsel. Then I'll take over.
All right, for the appellant, whoever wants to explain the case, go ahead.
My name is John Taylor. I'm counsel for the appellant. I'd like to first identify Mr. Fender to testify as this matter. Mr. Fender, how long have you owned the premises at 5051 Ogden Street?
I'm sorry, are we moving into testimony or are we just doing an opening statement?
Well, the initial opening statement can be basically that my client purchased the property on February 10th, 2023. Thereafter, the property was shortly thereafter in March subject to a violation notice. My client quickly engaged an expediter. He quickly engaged an engineer. He had a report made, took photos, took affirmative steps to get permits in order to make the property, in order to make repairs to the property. Unfortunately, he's been unable to get permits. The purpose of testimony today will be to explain why he has not been able to make permits, but based on information and belief, once he's able to get permits, he can make the repairs recommended by the engineering report, which was regarding the replacement of joists and other additional items. Now, my client's not a contractor, but he personally believes he can get these repairs done within 2 days, less than a week, and make the property safe again. And to begin, though, I'd like to introduce my client to, verify my arguments.
So I'm going to do my opening statements before we get to testimony by the appellant. What we have is a perfect example of a property being sold, then being renovated, and without the required documentation or an issued permit, leading to a unsafe and then eminently dangerous designation by the department, including a building case written against the property with a stop work order issued against the property as well. So filing an appeal after the fact where the appellant has already filed for a building permit, it is my assertion to the board once at the conclusion of testimony that this petition be denied.
Okay. All right, originally, I think the lawyer said that, they couldn't do the work on the building?
So, if you permit me, I'll defer to testimony first and then ask for, my rebuttal to ask for a cross, and then I'll, move into, my evidence.
Okay, the lawyer, John Taylor, John,
Yeah.
why can't you get in the building?
My argument was that he can't make the necessary repairs because he cannot get the permits necessary to make the repairs. My arguments weren't based on any prior work that may or may not have been done before that. My testimony was, my argument is that he's able to fix it. He has the engineering reports. He has the financial wherewithal to fix it. He just has not been able to get the permits as of last week. If I may,
When did you submit for the permits? When did you put in for them?
let me ask you, Mr. Fender, when did you submit for permits?
I submitted through Eclipse permits in February, but then retained Trevor Henry to submit a make safe report in March.
Okay,
I'm not understanding what's stopping them from getting the make safe permit. Are we saying that it was deemed unsafe, work was done without a permit, and now it's imminently dangerous?
I'm sorry, Ms. Barrera, is that a question for me?
Sure.
yeah,
So I can say the property was deemed unsafe following an inspection that took place March 13th of 2023. That inspection was a joint inspection, or at least a partnered inspection, where the building district went out to the location and issued a violations for work being done without a permit and issued a stop work order, along with my unit going out to the property and declaring the property as unsafe. Following that, a permit application was applied for in April 11th, 2023. A permit application was applied for. Subsequently, information was not provided to the department addressing all the issues. That permit was canceled May 9th of 2023.
who canceled it?
The plans examiner
Okay,
for the department. A follow-up inspection was done by the area inspector on May 17th, where the property had been declared as eminently dangerous. Following that inspection, the property was reposted. A permit application is now under review by the department, and that review took place on May 23rd of 2023 with another request to the applicant for additional information. That letter was sent and emailed on May 25th, 2023. We still have not gotten a response. My question and my concern is that at the beginning of this testimony, Mr. Fender, are you, or you're the owner of the property?
I am the owner of the property.
Okay. Mr. Taylor's statement that the owner is not a contractor, I have documentation in my system that the owner is a contractor and actually has information submitted to the department, and I will share my screen, that Mr. Fender is a contractor and actually has submitted documentation into the department that he is a sole provider. So if it's permit, or if the board renders a decision, I would ask that not only does Mr. Fender get the permit for this property, and that he supply all his subcontractors to the department. With that, I will continue and ask Mr. Taylor to continue his examination of the witness.
Yeah. So, Mr. Fender, do you own the property personally or through an LLC?
Through my LLC.
May I share the screen, please?
sure, go ahead.
Thank you. What is this document?
This is the deed of purchase between my LLC and the estate of Terry Ann Bryant.
And what was the date of the purchase?
February 10th, 2023.
And when did you receive the first code violation in reference to this matter?
March 13th, 2023.
Did you commission a engineering report in order to remedy and correct these violations?
Yes, I did.
I'd like to show you Exhibit 2. What is this document?
That is the front of the row house. Oh, excuse me, that's an engineering report, and the picture shows the front of the row house.
And who prepared this engineering report?
My structural engineer, Trevor Henry.
And is he here today?
Yes, he is.
I want to ask you, I'm going to ask Mr. Henry to provide an explanation of this report later today. But what is your basic assessment of this report? What is its findings?
From my perspective, it provides his observations are identified, and it's the means for a make-safe remedy.
Do you have the financial wherewithal to comply with these recommendations and make the necessary repairs?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And have you retained an expediter to obtain permits for the properties?
Yes, I have.
I just learned today that there was a letter issued like May 25th from L&I. Have you received this letter from L&I? Regarding other changes, other requirements?
I received the imminently dangerous notice that was dated May 17th.
So we heard testimony from Mr. Ribas, though, and I'm no reason to doubt that testimony, but that I guess the permits that were submitted for last week on May 23rd weren't accepted, and that there's been a communication sent out on May 25th. I haven't received that. Have you received it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so do we know why the permits would have not, the last application on May 23rd may or may not have been rejected?
I don't know.
Okay.
But excuse me one second, Tom, you're saying that they weren't rejected, they simply asked for additional information. Is that correct?
Hi, Ted. I could talk on behalf of that. Plan examiner reviewed it and sent the email out to a specific email. I can share my screen to show you the email. It was sent on.
I can address it as well. A review took place of that permit, and requests were emailed to Erica Kellen, who is the point of contact for that request for additional information. It is the same person that we sent the request on the previous permit application.
Hey, Tom, would the engineering report, if that's done for what it's supposed to be there, would that be adequate to make safe for that building?
Well, I'm actually a little concerned, because if Mr. Taylor would go back to the first page of this engineering report. So the first page of this engineering report, now the one with the photo. And a little bit down, I'm sorry. Stop right where the seal is from Mr. Henry.
The seal, okay, I see it,
Yeah.
okay.
There.
Go ahead.
So the department is in possession of an engineer's report that was included in this submittal. And the engineering report that we are in possession of is a engineering report where the date of the report is May 16th of 2023. Following a inspection, the date of the inspection on the report is March 15th of 2023. And the date of the report is May 16th of 2023 with an update. So the engineering report that Mr. Taylor is showing is not the report that is in the hands of the department. I will share that screen.
Can I interject and make an explanation?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Taylor,
let's
you
hear
can
it.
stop sharing.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Mr.
Trevor,
Taylor
go ahead,
should
let's
stop.
interject.
Basically, there are two reports. There was an initial report which will detail the structural issues with respect to the building. That was done and submitted. Subsequently to the request of LNI for additional information, we're now asked to provide, which is called a pre-construction survey and monitoring plan. The report you were looking at is really the pre-construction survey and monitoring plan, indicating how the condition of the building and what will be the effect of this building on the adjacent building. We have one sticking point at the moment. Part of the party wall, the rear of the building has a crack in it. And we want to fix that. But the sticking point is we have to get hold of the adjacent owner to get permission according to the new documentation, which is called the advanced owner notification acknowledgement. We are unable to get the owner of that building who could sign this form that would then make the application complete for it. So that's our sticking point at the moment.
Tom, is there anything else that can be done prior to getting this agreement with the neighbor?
So if it is repairing to the party wall or affecting the adjoining property, the department asks that you make efforts to notify the adjoining property that work is going to be going on, and then you have to supply that documentation into the department that you reached out to the properties if you are unable to get documentation from the neighboring properties.
But there is a specific form that has to be filled out. So I
Yes,
see there is a notice of failed attempt that can be submitted. I don't know, if- Mr.
that
Henry,
form
if you
has been
noticed that.
submitted. That form has been filled out. And that's the issue that we're trying to get hold of the owner, which we cannot get hold of at the moment. And to affect the completion of the application. This is one
Okay,
of
what
the
do we
things-
do now that we can't get a hold of the owner?
But wait, there's an option on that form to say that if there's then a failed attempt, and you can still hand in the form, and
Okay,
that should get checked off.
We
Okay,
can
but
go
can
there.
you do the repairs without getting in touch with the owner?
we can do the repairs, yes.
Okay.
But
Well, you
according to
made
the
every attempt to get a
documentation,
hold of the owner, start with your repairs.
This is
Well,
the form
but-
acknowledging the receipt of construction or demolition that you have to inform the neighbor. Here is where you would get the neighbor to sign, but then here you can say a reasonable attempt has been made. And it's notice of failed attempt. It sounds like that's what you need to check off.
yes, okay.
Tom, excuse me, Tom, when you're saying there's additional information that has been asked for, is there anything additional other than just the acknowledgement of this failed attempt?
So
Or-
I have, so
I
according
have-
to the notification that was sent out on May 25th. There were 5 bullet points
5 items, yeah.
for the information. The 5
Okay.
bullet points are the pre-construction survey, which is what Mr. Henry just alluded to. That's a pre-construction survey monitoring plan affecting adjacent property owner. And with the acknowledgement form that Ms. Rivera just showed the rest of the board. Then there is bullet point 2, in accordance to section B 17-4, point 6.4, number 3, the Philadelphia Building Code asks for a special inspection. They need that requirement. They also are required for opening infill, which was bullet point 3. Bullet point 4, per design 4/S2, the foundation wall supporting the party wall, rear extension will be patched with loose stone, and it goes through marking up that party wall, or at least addressing something there. And then bullet point 5, the plans propose the demolition of the front porch and replacement of new wood frame steps and landing at the front entry. Be advised that this is incorrect with photographs on record of actual site conditions in association with a violation. It cites that violation CF 2023-020131, which shows new concrete porch foundation and steps at the location. are you proposing to remove this work? So that has to be addressed as well.
Okay. Those are the other items which we can address urgently. As I said, a critical issue was the signing of that document. We've got a path forward. We can include that, and I think we would conclude all the other questions that were asked.
So Tom, when you've said you were recommending that we reject the application, I mean, it's a simply a question of us not taking any action, because it sounds like all this is in the works and it will get, completed in due course. Is there any action that we need to take other than continuing the case, perhaps?
I would oppose to continuing the case in that it's really not something that can be, that's rendering, because what you have is you have an appeal filed in conjunction with a permit that has already been applied for in the system. The permit was applied for, or the second submittal was applied for on May 23rd of 2023, and the appeal to the violation was filed on the exact same day. You can't appeal the violation if you're applying for the permit.
Well,
So my conclusion is to the board that it's either no action required or denial of the variance for additional time, in that there's already a tenant in the system.
If we were to deny it, what would the impact of that be? I mean, we don't want to gum up the works. We want the work to be documented and done as soon as possible. So how do we stay out of the way?
The impact would be permit needs to be issued. Get the documentation in with the department. It's already in review. And if the permit is abandoned or canceled for information not coming back to the department has the authority to go under the enforcement that it would be required to do so.
So if the last submission or this letter was given out May 25th, when do they have till to supply these elements? Because I know personally that if whatever they supply doesn't meet that letter exactly, the permit will get thrown out.
Yes,
Right.
And that's exactly what happened the last time. The last time the permit, the information wasn't provided completely, and that permit was canceled on May 9th of 2023.
So how much time do they have to
10 days.
finish this make safe?
10
They
days.
have 10 business days to resubmit.
excuse me?
They have 10 days to resubmit their additional information.
From the
request.
25th of May?
From the 25th of May.
Okay, and that,
And Mr. Trevor, you feel that, Mr. Henry, I'm sorry, you feel that that's doable?
Yes, I can make those commitments and those changes and get it back to you.
I mean, the deadline's Monday?
So I think Mr. Segria just said it was 10 business days. The 10 business days would put you at June 8th.
Okay, so it's 10 business days, so that's Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
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 June 8th, you said?
Yeah.
June 8th, yes. Would be close of business June 8th.
Okay.
Would be the 10th business day.
Is that enough time to get it done? Can we get it done in that time?
Can I have additional week? If not, I would do my level best.
That's not for me to decide. That's for the board if they're gonna.
Can we
if
see
they're gonna do
pictures
that.
of the imminently dangerous conditions, just so I get a sense of how imminently dangerous this is?
Sure. If I may share the screen?
Whoever, if it wants to be Mr. Radikowski or whoever.
I'll end up being both, okay?
Okay.
So,
Then go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Henry,
Yes, sir.
showing you your pre-construction report. Did you take these photographs?
Yes, sir.
And what is this first photograph?
This photograph represents the front of the building, of the two buildings, actually.
So this is, what building is this? What's the address?
This is 4009, I think it is.
Correct.
I'm sorry, 55049.
And what's this building next door?
5051.
Okay. What is this a picture of?
This is the rear yard between the two buildings.
And what is this a picture of?
This is the side of building 5051, an empty lot.
And what is this a picture of?
This is the back of the building 5049.
Are these cracks of concern?
These cracks are not our property, that's the adjacent property.
It's right over that door. How is that the adjacent property?
No, this is the property of 5049.
Okay,
The crack we're dealing with is it's in this picture here. It's a little blurred, but this is the crack where the cursor is. That's the crack that we're dealing with that we needed to get the owner's approval to work.
And
That's the
that
crack in the-
wall is 5051?
It
This
is
is the party
between
wall, correct?
5051 and 5049, the party wall.
Tom, has 5049 been cited at all?
I don't have that in front of me. I'll be happy to do the research while we're going.
Yeah, I mean, that crack over that door does look concerning.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it continues adjacent to the bay, which I guess is the party wall. Or is that, no, is that the other side?
Yeah, this is the other side.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Now, if they do their repairs on 5051 and 5049 doesn't do that, will that affect their building?
Well, the method of repairs that I recommended would in effect take care of that filling of the grout and securing it. We have recommended some metal straps to tie that wall back in place as and then grout the position, the opening between the bricks.
And can you do that without getting the permission of the other person if they don't
I
get in
can do
touch with
that
you?
I can do that from the 5051 side.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
5049 is also deemed imminently dangerous on May 17th.
I didn't hear that, Ann.
5049 was also deemed imminently dangerous on May 17th. of this year.
Okay, well, right now we're dealing with 5051.
I know, but the question was asked if they had also a violation. Yes, they do.
Yes, okay. All right, well, let's get the stuff done at 5051. And you say to the 8th, do you see any reason to give more time?
Are there any photos of the interior?
Well, are these the only photos in Mr. Henry's packet that Mr. Taylor's serving or sharing with the board?
I was just going to show the reports at this time. I can look for additional photographs of the interior. Let's see. These are the plans here.
All right, Tom Rupkowski, do you have pictures of the interior?
I do not have photographs specifically showing the interior of the photo of the property, but what I will do is I will ask Mr. Taylor to stop sharing his screen and I will share my screen and show the board what I have and which shows a little bit more of the areas of concern from the department side.
I'm asking because the violation says floor joists are collapsed, and I'd like to see the collapsed floor joists to get a sense.
Yeah, so what I have is, these are the photographs that I have of the property. So these are photographs that were taken on March 13th following the building inspection where the stop work order was posted. That is also on the front page of the Mr. Henry's report. There is also an unsafe poster that's on the, affixed to the storm door of the property. Um, But this was this is where the front porch had been removed, and then there is a breach in the front foundation wall. This is the side wall. There's also a breach in the side breezeway wall as well, where this new concrete had been added to the property with the staircase leading down into what would be the basement. This is that breach.
So all this new work was done without a zoning permit or without a building permit?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the breach in the breezeway wall. This is the breach in the, or at the basement level. These were all conditions that were observed on March 13th of 2023. They are not in Mr. Henry's report that was dated around the same time. Or at least what was just presented to the board. And then this is a photograph of the second story, and then this is a photograph of the what Mr. Henry was just detailing, the separation wall between 5049 and 5021. You can see that there is a fracture, or that the wall is pulling away at the junction between the two properties. And then that's the posting following an inspection that took place on May 17th of 2023. You can still see the conditions of the property. The breach in the rear wall has plywood that has been affixed to the front or to that portion, but you can still see that there's the opening where the window would have been. I do not have an interior photograph of the floor assemblies, but I do show that there is significant structural issues with the foundation and the stone of that foundation. As you can see, there's that step fracture that's going on over that window opening of that side breezeway wall. And then another photograph of that opening. It looks like there is now a fracture that is starting to take place there. And then this is the report that is in the possession of the department that I had referred earlier in testimony. I'll stop.
Okay, so the 10 days, what does that entail? To get a permit to make safe and start work?
Under the terms of the permit, once the permit is issued, work must start within 10 days of the permit issuance date.
And Mr. Henry, are you addressing all those failed or lack of lintels and?
Yeah, the only issues that were not addressed were the initial foundations for the porch in the front. But that is picked up in the last report, and we would remove those according to the requirement and the items that were made in the last letter that was sent out on the 25th. We will address those to remove those from the project, such that it doesn't create a hindrance, and that to create such that we can get the make safe. And once the make safe is done and the building is safe, then we will apply for the permits to make it to correct all the other stuff.
Okay, I want to recommend that the board go into a breakout room and discuss.
Before that, I would ask for one last thing. I would ask Mr. Fender, are you a contractor?
I have a general contractor license, and I have a home improvement contractor license with the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Are you listed as the contractor on both the permit that was submitted and then canceled, and also that is recently been entered and is under review?
I think the expediter put me. I did not see it, but I think she did.
Do you have any workers?
I have licensed carpenters, plumbers, electricians. Of course, nothing's happened since. March 13th.
Do you have any listed employees?
No, I use only 1099 contractors.
So they would be classified as subcontractors, correct?
Objection, that
Yes.
calls for a legal conclusion.
1099s are independent contractors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have any employees on W-2s.
So those individuals would also have to carry a contractor's license, correct?
Yes.
So I'm gonna share my screen. So Mr. Fender, just so I can this is a document that you supplied to the department as the sole entity for, or the sole member of Cold Energy Systems as the contractor, correct?
Yeah, I'm the sole owner. Yes. The only,
You're the sole owner, and basically this letter is stating that you don't hold workman's comp insurance, so you are the sole provider of the of that entity, correct?
correct.
Okay, all right. So
What are we getting at? What's the deal?
what I'm asking is that the board, if the board decides that the permit be issued or the permit be, or grants time, that a stipulation be asked that Mr. Fender provide all the subcontractors that he's going to be using on the job associated with this permit.
Okay, let me get this straight. Now, if you have a subcontractor, he has to be a contractor, he has to be a licensed contractor?
The sub would have to be listed on the permit.
And that's
Yes.
an individual, if an individual has a 1099, he's considered an independent contractor, he needs that?
We would need that documentation, yes, sir.
Is they prepared to do that?
Who's the question directed to?
Mr. Taylor, to you, or is Mr. Fender prepared to have these contractors work for him?
Yes.
Okay, and then now, who's responsible to find out if these guys are licensed and have are a licensed contractor? Who does that?
Wayne, I think what Tom is recommending is that we have a stipulation, that the subcontractors be identified and that they, be licensed subcontractors.
Okay, I understand. Now, let me get this. Okay, if they're a licensed contractor, they need a business privilege license, okay, to be able to pay the taxes and things like that, to be a legitimate contractor? Is this where this is going to?
They have to be a licensed or hold a licensed contractor's license to be able to work in this city. Yes, that subcontractor would have to be, able to.
Well, who checks on that?
Mr. Fender would associate those contractors on this permit.
I mean, Mr. Fender is prepared to follow the law, and if, people who provide services have to have commercial activity license and have the necessary license and insurance. And I know Mr. Fender will follow those laws.
Counselor, let me ask you this question. If Mr. Fender follows the law, does that mean these contractors are gonna follow the law?
Well, yeah, that's, if the contractors
Well,
don't.
will they make sure that, okay,
Yeah, you can't, if such an event were to happen and a contractor didn't follow the law, then Mr. Fender would have to terminate him.
so they're gonna be checked out to make sure they're a licensed contractor, these 1099s, before they go on that project.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Who
Fender.
does that?
That
Well-
documentation would have to be submitted to the department, and the department would make sure that there is an active license for each one of the subcontractors that Mr. Fender would associate to that permit.
Okay.
So there's really two matters of enforcement. There's Mr. Fender enforcing it as a reasonable businessman in the private sense, and the municipality enforces the rule during the issuance of the permit process.
All right, so Wayne, when we are ready to issue out the permit, the owner would reference the subcontractors in our permitting system, and we would issue out if everything checks out.
Oh, okay, all right.
So like, you know how we reference a contractor for a specific job, they would reference the subcontractors, and then the system, as long as everything's up to date, it would issue out depending on if the contractor and the subcontractors are compliant with everything.
Okay, Mr. Fender, the guys you hire, they licensed?
They will be, but I can also do work. So am I prevented from doing any work myself?
Not if you're a licensed contractor, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I can put a new joist that supports a floor. I mean, I can do that in a couple hours. I can lay bricks. I've done it before. I have insurance. I've done it before.
All right, are we ready to caucus?
Yeah, we'll caucus, okay? All right, we'll get back.
Thank you.
Put us in the breakout room.
You have to do it yourself.
I do, okay.
Okay, one moment before you leave, the court reporter needs, since Jace was testifying. Uh-oh, are they gone?
Yep.
Jace, I'll need you sworn when they come back,
Oh, okay,
since you were testifying.
sure.
Do we need to swear in people from the city? We don't have to swear in lawyers.
Mr.
yes,
McSherry,
We do? Okay, Ryan, that's it. You're the lawyer. You tell me.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Okay, good deal. We're getting the breakout room. See you later.
you earned your dollar today, Ryan.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
Ryan, just to be clear, should we pause at this point?
Oh, am I supposed to be in this breakout room? Sorry.
No,
Okay.
This is
you guys.
the main room.
Okay,
you're in the right room.
now I'm in the right
Where's
room.
Ryan, did
Okay.
Ryan leave?
We're off the official record. I think your recording is still
Debbie, I
going.
think you should stop the recording.
I think you can pause it, Phil.
I'm back.
Okay, so Wayne, you have to swear in Jace, but there's also, T Keller is in, I brought in the room, that's someone for this case as well. So they have to state their names for the record. I'm not sure who they were. I was waiting for you to come back.
Okay, no problem.
I don't think T Keller is for this case. They're for the case of that the fourth hearing.
Correct. We have Erica is our expediter.
Erica Keller is the one they're talking about. T Keller is for the fourth hearing.
There's like a Kellum.
Oh, what case are you here for? Keller, T Keller, what case are you here for?
1416 West Gerard.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not till
this ain't
2
the case.
o'clock, so
Okay, all right.
we're still on the violation cases, sorry.
Okay, let's go.
You're welcome to listen and stay in the room, that's fine.
All right, Jace, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, let's go. Here's what we came up with. Everybody on the record?
Yes, we're back
Okay.
on the recording and back on the record.
All right, what we're gonna do, instead of the 8 business days or whatever, from the 8th of June, we're gonna give you to that Monday. We're gonna give you 2 additional days. Have everything done and ready and submitted. Any questions?
To be specific, that's June 12th.
That's June 12th. Any questions?
Is that a
Okay, good.
Does that mean that we've been continued or we're just having the till June 12th to submit all the permits?
You have to get the permits, get ready to go to work.
So a permit must be issued by June 12th.
Yeah,
And
Issued or applied
Well, I
for.
don't,
apply for.
they have to have everything submitted by June 12th.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a permit already is applied for, so a permit would have to be issued by the 12th.
But they were asked for another submission, so we're just saying that other submission has to be submitted by June 12th. And then the department will give however many
Okay.
days it gives for that review.
I believe it's the
And-
follow-up documents to this letter of May 25th that we have to supply by June 12th.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's your documents as well as the information on the
Yes.
subcontractors who will be doing the work, all of whom will be licensed and insured and, recognized by the city.
So my recommendation to the board is to make it concrete instead of having it where the submittal has to be given back by the 12th. Since it's an automatic 5-day review, I would say a permit has to be issued by the 20th then, because that gives the 5-day additional review for the department.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, fine. Okay, you guys good with that?
Understood.
Okay, good deal, guys. Good luck.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, Wayne, the 3628 North Warnock Street, he's here in the waiting room.
Okay, is there just one person?
Just one person,
Okay,
and I need to bring in some other people that are probably not related to this case. Just so you know. So Mr. Martin, he's here as well for the second case.
okay, for Warnock Street.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay.
bring him in.
He's here. Everybody's here. So the other
Everybody's
people
here.
for the other cases are in as well. Yes.
Okay, fine.
But we're not for the,
All
we're
right.
not doing that case yet. Okay.
And who is it, Mr. Martin?
Mr.
Yeah.
Caballero.
Caballero and Martin?
Hello? Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Can I?
Oh,
Well-
can we see okay. You're with Warnock Street?
Yes.
Okay, and you're by yourself or you're with someone else?
No, I bought it by myself.
No. Is there anybody here testifying with you or is it just you?
Oh, that's what I want to say it. Well, first of all, hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm very surprised because I never think that my case or my property that I bought it 4 years ago, you're gonna
Okay,
have
hold
issues.
on. No, all I want to know, are you the only one here for your property?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get started, okay? We got a procedure we have to go through, okay? All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Ryan McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Jace Correa, Department of License and Inspections.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
Okay, Tom, raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cavallaro,
Yes.
can you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, respond?
Yes.
Okay, all right, Phil, could you put that into the record, please?
Yes, sir. This is case number 2 on today's list, MI 2023-003148 for the property located at 3628 North Warnock Street. The appellant is Felix Caballero.
Okay, all right. Tom, could you explain a little bit of this case?
I can. So this appeal is the result of a permit application being filed with the department. In fact, it was a plumbing permit. That's why the appeal violation number on the appeal paperwork has a PP. So Paul 2023-00742-425. That is not actually a violation or it is a permit application number. This appeal is filed because the system automatically generated an error message to the applicant because there is an unsafe case on this property. The unsafe case is resulting from an inspection and this property being in violation since November of 2018. The property was declared as unsafe for conditions in the rear. This property was then sold, and then a deed was recorded in 2019. This case was rewritten as work was being done to the property even though the property had been declared as unsafe. There was no property cert pulled or filed with the department. And this case was rewritten and the property posted February 28th of 2020 with the department is in possession of a signed green card with the violation or with the mailing of a notice of violation dated around February of 2020. So what my assertion is, or what my recommendation to the board following my packet and reviewing the case record and the photos that are in the case record, is that we are asking for either a engineer's report to be supplied to the department or a permit within the next 30 days. If not, then the department could seek additional or another line of enforcement. I will recommend that on the appeal form, it does make reference that this is being filed for a water service. And forgive me if I mispronounce the appellant's last name. It's Caballero.
Caballero?
Caballero?
Yes,
I have one question. Is the property occupied?
yes. I bought the property on 2019 on the city sheriff auction, right? That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, and that I'm not disputing that. I have a copy of the deed. The deed was recorded in 2019. What I am asking is, you make reference that you need to replace the water service. Is this because of a maintenance issue, or is it leaking, or what's going on with the water service?
Well, according with the plumbing company, contractor, sorry, they say the property don't have access to the water from the main line to the house.
Does
Where
Is
you
that
get
correct?
your water from?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. I was just going to ask the same question.
Hello?
Sorry, what was
Yeah,
the
hey,
question?
Felix,
I couldn't hear either of you.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Where
The question was, Felix says that the plumbing line was not hooked up to the city. And I said to him, where are you getting your water from?
Okay,
Oh, the property don't have water.
but you said someone
Oh,
lives
you don't
there,
have water.
No, we don't have water.
but
I
someone
called
is
the
living there.
No, nobody live here.
Oh.
Nobody is. Well, I wanna say something before. I'm sorry,
All right,
but
go ahead, Felix.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm very surprised. I never think that this kind of situation is gonna happen. I went to the city, to the license and inspection department to contact with the supervisor because I'm surprised about this issue with the property that I told you before. I bought this property 4 years ago with the idea to give it to my kids who is going to Temple University. So this property is close to the college. It take me 3 years or more than 3 years to fix it, right? Or flip it. When I tried to do in the last thing, connect the water, and I found this issue. I never received any letter. I never received the violation. So I'm very surprised. That's why. And also, I'm in like a call. I'm expected to a supervisor came to this property to check. And I'm sorry, but I can't deal with this situation. It's very hard for me. I'm very nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous.
I feel like.
Okay, so I'm just gonna share my packet with the board. and show what I have. I only have one question while I load up the board, while I load up the packet. What was the mailing address that you listed when you bought the property?
Well, in that time, 2019, it was 502 Tennis Avenue, Ambler,
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
With that said, I'm going to share my screen. So can everybody see my screen?
Sideways, but yes.
Yes. So I'll get to the photos. So here's the photos, and that's why it was turned sideways. Is back in 2018, the property was declared as unsafe following the rear bay being struck by a tree and collapsing. There's a photograph of the tree, and then the tree landed into the rear bay.
Okay.
So that's where the violation comes from. Then, and just
Is that fixed now?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, just.
So then we have the property transferred hands via, as the appellant does say, it transferred hands in 2019. May 2nd of 2019, there's a deed recorded transferring the property via a sheriff's sale to the appellant who is here today.
Yeah, Felix.
The case was rewritten at that time. The case was rewritten in February of 2020, February 28th of 2020, following an inspection that took place. And I'll go back to the photographs. But resulting in that inspection on February 28th of 2020, there was an inspection that took place, and there was a violation notice, an initial notice of violation indicating the property had been declared as unsafe, and it was mailed to the address that the appellant just named, 502 Tennis Avenue in Ambler, PA. Not only did we send the notice, but we also are in possession of a signed green card for this property, illustrating the address and with the case number and the date of 2/28/20, showing that we did send notice and the notice of violation to that property at that time. Then another notice of violation another notice of violation was sent to the Ambler Street address, as that's the address that we have in our system. If there was a different address, it needed to be updated with the OPA, but this notice was sent in December of 2020. The only reason that we learned, but I also have the photographs of the property in the case summary report, in that you can see that the rear of the property has been repaired. And these are the photographs in January of 2021. And this is the most recent one of February of 2022, in that the back of the property appears that it was repaired. I apologize for the photographs being sideways, but that illustrates that the repairs were done to the property as the appellant just testified to. We are asking for an engineer's report detailing that rear bay or the unsafe conditions have been structurally made safe, or a permit be pulled for the repair of that property. We do have that, as the appellant just testified to, that he did the repairs. He's just waiting to connect the water service in the property. So we ask that he pulls the appropriate permits. With that, I'll rest.
So Tom, since it appears that the work was done, you're looking for an engineer's report that says that it is safe.
Yeah.
They're presumably not looking for permits for any of that work. It's only the permits necessary are for the establishing water service and anything else that's required.
So what we would be willing to do is we would ask for that engineer's report. In the meantime, but that was only if the property was occupied. Now that I'm learning that it was rehabbed, and we're looking for just having the last bit of work to supply water to the property. It's not like it's waiting for the water service, or there's somebody that's not able to use facilities. So what I'm asking is that an engineer's report or permit be pulled within 30 days.
Okay, Felix?
Yes.
Did you hear Tom?
Yes, yes.
Do you have an engineering report?
No, I don't have any. Because I repeat, I never received no letters from the city of Philadelphia. Never.
Whether you received it or not, at this point, we need to have an engineer's report to know that it's safe so that you can occupy the building. So at this point, within 30 days, we need you to apply, get an engineer, have them inspected, apply for a report, apply for a make safe permit, and that should be granted, right away. Hopefully by then you'll have your water established and can move forward.
Based on what Tom said, they can either apply for a make safe permit or submit the engineer's report. So it doesn't have to be a make safe permit.
Right, so.
Oh, okay, sorry, forgive me.
Yeah, so my agitation is the engineering report, detailed the repairs done and that the property is structurally safe. If the report comes back saying repairs need to be done, then of course a make safe permit would be required.
Okay.
If not, then the unsafe violation would be marked complied, but we would ask that the building permit or a plumbing permit be pulled to correct all the work that's being done inside the property.
Felix, do you understand that?
Yes. I have two questions.
Go ahead.
One is, could you send me to my email, which is more secure that they're gonna receive all the information about the engineering, because I did that job. I did it with my carpenter frame. We did it. We spent a lot of time. We spent 3 years, more than 3 years to do it.
Felix, we understand that, but we need, Felix, listen to me. I know you did the work, all right? But we need an engineer to say that that's sound.
Yeah,
Okay?
I understand. Yeah, I understand, but can I receive any information? What is the steps to do, to follow, to present to the license and inspection department?
If you hire the engineer, then I'm sure you can get in touch with Mr. Rybakowski about how to submit
Yeah.
that.
And the engineer will know what kind of report is required for this.
Okay. Can I talk to Mr. Tom to contact with me, if you don't mind? Because I'm learning right now. I'm learning a lot of things. I never had idea.
And forgive me, Felix.
Felix.
Yes.
I reached out. I actually called your number Monday when I learned of the appeal being filed. Your phone does not have voicemail and does not, and your voicemail box is full, and there was no way to get in contact with you.
Exactly. I called right away when I found the number. I think the day before, after Debra Richardson, and she explaining about today.
Are you talking to Debbie?
Oh, Debbie, sorry, Debbie
Yeah.
Richardson, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The other question.
So just in the interest of time, Felix, I'm going to give you my office number. You call the office number. I'll be happy to talk to you anytime you want. 215.
Okay, let me take the number. Okay, yes.
215-686.
Okay.
2580.
2583.
No, 215-686-2580. I'm sorry, 2583. Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, Felix.
Ray.
And Felix,
Yes, the last question.
You're expressing you like emailing. Tom's email is
Yes.
thomas.rybakowski. You can see the spelling of his name on the screen @philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, I get his last name. The other one, what are you gonna do with the plumbing contractors? They're gonna doing their job?
I need that report, and then we'll comply the violation, and you get the required building and plumbing permits.
You have to clear this make safe permit
But
first,
you have to clear this
Okay.
first.
and then you can pull your plumbing permit.
All right, Felix.
Okay, Perfect.
Any issues, call Tommy.
No choice. Para
All
esa
right,
a great lesson. Okay, I will. Thank
all
you.
right,
I
good
learned,
deal. Good luck.
okay, I learned something today. But thank
Good
you.
deal. See ya.
Yes, thank you.
All right, pal. All right,
Stop recording.
yep. Good. I'm Wayne
Recording's
Miller, board
on.
member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Ed McSherry, Board Counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration, and John is here now.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Jace Correa, Department of License and Inspections.
Okay, whoever's gonna testify in the case, we'll start with David. I'll swear you in individually. David,
John's
could you
here,
please-
Wayne.
John Dimes, okay, I see him, okay. David, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Jordan, if you're gonna be testifying in the case, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Natalie, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Bill, put that into the record.
Yes, sir. This is case number 3 on today's list, MI 2023-002-742 for the property located at 902 South Fairhill Street. The appellant is David Nemec. He's in the room with us today.
Okay, whoever's gonna do present the case, go ahead.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is David Nemec. I'm an architect and owner of Nemec and Company, and I'm here representing Jordan Barnett and Natalie Pompilio at 902 South Fairhill Street. They're the homeowners, and we've been working with them on a alteration and renovation project since early 2021. We are here today to legalize 2 conditions of the project specific to a 1-story rear kitchen addition that were approved and constructed but are not compliant. And I have an exhibit document if I can share my screen and walk
Yes,
you
you
through it.
can, go ahead.
So I'm gonna roll through this document, which is our list of exhibits, and get to the notice of refusal first, which again indicates that the scope of our application is for the legalization of existing attached structure with a rear 1-story addition. Now, the 2 reasons for refusal are the first being the exterior walls with less than 5 feet of fire separation distance should be 1 hour tested. And the second reason is for openings in exterior walls with less than 3 feet of fire separation distance are not allowed. Going to walk through some site and context adjacencies. As you can see, the subject property highlighted in blue here, this is an image clipped from Atlas. There is per deed, a 3-foot alley along the northern edge of the property that empties onto Fairhill Street. And that interconnects with a per deed 3-foot alley running north-south, which exits onto Montrose Street. You can see those, adjacent to the subject parcel there. This is an image of our approved zoning plan. And again, just to be redundant with the adjacencies here, the subject property 902 South Fairhill Street. We have a 3-foot alley per deed emptying onto Fairhill Street, a 3-foot alley per deed onto Montrose Street, and the adjacent parcels at 536, 534, and 532 Montrose Street. These are a few existing conditions photos that we shot prior to construction back in April of 2021. They give you kind of a sense of the alley conditions and the rear of the 3 adjacent parcels on Montrose Street. So from left to right, we have 536 Montrose, 534 Montrose, and 532 Montrose. Both 534 and 532 Montrose have built over the alley footprint. Previous ownerships have done that. These are existing today. I'm gonna now walk you through some drawings and diagrams. Again, I think it's important to note here that these drawing sheets that you're seeing are the approved permit drawing set that the project was constructed from. And again, the area of interest is related to the first floor rear kitchen addition that was part of the alteration and renovation project. That is highlighted in gray on this floor plan. I'm going to zoom in. As you can see, there are 3 portions of exterior wall perimeter, 2 of which are identified as a wall type 03, which is a non-rated exterior wall type. However, there is one portion of that perimeter is a 03A type, which is a 1-hour rated construction. There is a portion of approximately 8 feet along the north wall of the kitchen addition that is an unrated construction. And within that 8 feet, there is a 4-foot window opening. This is now a drawing sheet, one of our exterior elevation sheets, again approved. This is a north elevation, so if you were in the alley looking back at the 1-story kitchen addition, that is highlighted in the gray. I'm going to zoom in on that now, and you can see that this section of wall is approximately 96 square feet. We have an opening in that wall of approximately 13 square feet, rendering a 14% opening to wall ratio. Anything with a fire separation distance equal to 3 feet would allow us up to 25% of that wall to be open. Now back to the site plan for just a bit in terms of some additional adjacencies and notes. You can see here, this is the portion of the alley that's been previously overbuilt by the owners at 534 and 532 Montrose. The fire separation distance, as identified on the notice of refusal, is 1'6", which is the center line of the existing 3-foot alley. However, the south face of 536 and 534 Montrose is approximately 8'6" away from the north face of 902 South Fairhill. That would render a potential alternate interpretation of the fire separation distance of approximately 4'3". And I think it's reasonable to assume that, you know, any future development at 536 or 534 would require a minimum rear yard setback. You know, therefore, the fire separation distance would be equal, if not greater, than what we have today. Now, the project it's an existing home. Jordan and Natalie are currently occupying it, living there. They've been there since August of 2022. The final building inspection was completed in October of 2022. And these are a couple existing conditions photos just taken last week. You can see the rear kitchen addition with the window in question out to the north there. And then this is a sequence of alley images. Again, from left to right, we have an alley image looking east towards 534 Montrose with the new addition on the right-hand side. The center image looking back west with the new kitchen addition on the left-hand side and the window opening. And the third image is more of an aerial image to give you a sense of the alley as it exists alongside the rear yard adjacency. So our intent is to legalize these existing conditions with the understanding the project was built as approved and documented, but while working to minimize any hardship to the owners. Thank you.
Aim?
The
Hey, you have any
alley-
questions?
The alley on the side doesn't even go out to the street onto Fairhill. It's really more of a side yard at this point.
I'm sorry, Amy?
The alley on the side of the house does not go out to Fairhill.
It does not. It's been overbuilt and it's unknown as to when it was overbuilt.
I mean, I was looking at pictures of the front and I don't know, it just looks like. Anyway, so it doesn't access, it's really a side yard at this point for the house on Fairhill.
Yeah,
But-
correct. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable interpretation, Amy. And I would say that effectively, I think the occupant at 534 is the only one who's kind of using that to get out, you know, basically as trash service. And I know Jordan and Natalie use that, you know, they exit directly out of their rear yard onto the alley heading towards Montrose. So there's not exactly any you know, egress traffic through that alley as it would be intended, you know, in a typical sense.
It looked from the site plan like there was also an alley on the other side of the house that goes back out to Fairhill as well. Is that?
There, yeah. Would you like me to pull that site plan back up?
Yeah. But in any case, I mean, you can effectively get from their backyard to Montrose. Is that true, or is that problematic for any reason?
No, from 902 South Fairhill Street,
Yeah.
Ted?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. You can exit through their backyard onto the alley in this. Sorry, let me blow this up a bit.
I mean, you should be able to get out to Fairhill as well, but you can't. Yeah, I thought there was another drawing though, that on the other side of 902, that there was another alley.
Sorry, let me jump back to the Atlas image.
It was on your other diagram, David. I think it was later in the presentation.
No, it's
This
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the Atlas clipping.
Okay. So in other words, that one going sort of down the other way and then back out to Fairhill, is that no longer viable?
That is no longer viable as egress from 902 South Fairhill.
Got it. Okay.
But I think the intent of that T-shaped easement is to capture, you know, a lot of the properties on 6th Street.
Got it. Well, yeah.
Do you have any issues?
Well, at any rate, I mean, you do have one clear way out. I think I don't know, Amy, I mean, if you were in the middle of weighing in on that or not, but I guess, you know, essentially the alley on the one side provides, I think the spirit of the setback that's intended is met with with that kitchen window. I don't think it's,
I'd like to see a picture again of the back of the houses on Montrose to see how close they come. Do they have rear yards still? No, they don't.
I think it was like 8 feet or so from the kitchen window to the back of 536.
Yeah, so 536 has, again, yes, Ted, you're correct. It's approximately 8'6" between the north side of 902 South Fairhill and the south side of 536 and 534. So again, backing off the 3-foot alley per deed, we have a rear yard of approximately 5'6".
Yeah. And I don't
So
think
the alley they would escape to Montrose is shown, you can kind of see it a little bit on the left-hand side picture, 536 Montrose. Is that gray path?
Yeah, this is the alley here, yes.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I can see that there's a gate on Montrose, so it does lead out.
Yeah, I don't
Correct.
think it's a question of legalizing it so much as us considering a variance, given the site circumstances. So in other words, we're not totally buying the argument. We can't say you're allowed to go to the adjacent property setback. It's still the property line is what governs. That being said, it's hard to believe that there would be a legal addition to 536 or even 534 that would, well, I guess it's 536 that would really impact that kitchen window.
Correct, Ted, yeah.
I mean, Amy, Wayne, you have any issues with it?
No, I'm fine.
Anything we would want?
I don't. We also have the 1 hour rating issue.
And that would, Jace, would that be required if this had the 3-foot
Yeah, it'll still be required because it's less than 5 feet.
less than 5 feet. And yeah, so in this case, even if you went to the other side of the alley, it's 3 feet. Again, there's more an effective setback. But what should have been cited when the plans were.
Right, so originally, the plan examiner, missed the opening of the window on that property line. They should not have approved that. And, I think it came up on a preliminary plan review. They caught it. And they said that's the reason why we're in front of the board today.
When they caught it, was the window already in?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
All
can I see the plan showing the alleys again?
And just quick question is, I assume the house is not sprinklered?
The property is not sprinklered, no.
Again, I want to see that other alley that leads out.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah. So I'm looking on Google, and I can't see an alley that enters out on Fairfield there. Is that still a viable alley?
there's an alley door between 904 and 906 there. I'm not sure. I've never been through the alley. I'm not sure what happens once you get to the T portion of it.
Oh, I see it. All right, I'm sorry, I see it now. There's a little, it looks like a front door almost, but okay. It's there.
I have not been back in that area.
Okay. All right, Ken and Wayne, do you want to caucus?
Sure. Okay.
Sure. Okay,
All right.
we'll be back in a minute.
When we go back on the record.
All right, we're gonna grant the variance on the structure. You know, we commend you on trying to make things legal, and so you have your variance.
Great.
I'm just curious as to what brought this up. Like you got it built, everything was fine, but now was there?
There was a neighbor had a surveyor out.
Oh,
The surveyor flagged it as a potential issue to the owners, and we did our review, and subsequently filed a preliminary plan meeting to effectively get to you today.
Okay.
I just like to say that was the best graphic presentation I've ever seen.
Me too.
I agree.
That was great. That was great.
Color coded and everything. Loved it.
He was amazing as a designer and contractor to work with as well.
Okay.
That was great.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, good luck, all right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, board.
All right.
Okay, so the next case is 1416 West Girard Avenue, and they are here as well.
Everybody ready?
We are ready.
Okay. Aim, Ted, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get started. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Jace.
Sorry, Jace Korea, Department of License Inspections.
Okay, I'm gonna whoever's gonna be witnessing in the hearing. I want you to raise your right hand. I want to do it individually. First, you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. The next guy, go ahead. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Phil, put it into the record.
Sorry, Mr.
Oh,
Chair,
okay.
can I have them state their names as well?
Yeah, Phil, I'll have that. He'll ask him as soon as he puts it in the record. Go ahead, Phil.
This is case number 4 on today's list, MI 2023-003-134 for the property located at 1416 West Girard Avenue. The appellants are Carrie Yonce, Y-O-N-C-E, and Zach Jones. Mr. Yonce and Mr. Jones, are you here in the room?
Okay, whoever's gonna present the case, go ahead.
Right, so I'll present the case. So this is for, as you know, 1416 West Girard is currently a 6-unit. It has, currently the building has 6 residential units and 1 commercial office space. The commercial office space is in the ground floor rear and is no longer being used as an office. And we have gone through the process to get a use permit that would allow for 7 residential units as of right. And when we were then going through the certificate of occupancy process, we got flagged for basically a change of use. So when we were changing from the office use to the residential use, the change of occupancy triggered the requirement for sprinklers in the new use. So at this point, what we're proposing is to sprinkler the new unit, or the units going from office to residential. We're proposing sprinkling that unit. That unit already has 2 means of egress. It is accessed from a common central stair, and then it also has a direct egress to the street. And as it's on the corner, it has a direct egress out the Carlisle. I think in Jake's review, there was also an existing mechanical room off the stair enclosure. And at this point, we are anticipating adding a sprinkler head at that location as well, of the existing mechanical room.
Did you say something about there was going to be, still be an office space at the back of the first floor?
Yeah, I can, you want to bring up the plan?
Well, the plans I'm looking at say utility and storage. They don't say anything about an office space. The plan submitted.
I think there's some utility space along the edge, but the space along Carlisle Street is the office space. So I think there's some utility space there.
So there is no more commercial space.
No, and I think it's the way it was laid out, the space was just used as an office. So the setup is always, it was always set up as an apartment, and based on how it was used in the past, they used it as an office. And that's when they got their initial use permit. They just called it 6 residential and 1 office.
So there's no change of occupancy?
Just from the office to the residential, which is what we're requesting now. And which was what was approved in the use permit. So we are approved for 7 residential units.
So when there's a commercial space on the first floor level, there's an existing R2 above. And now they're changing that commercial space into a residential unit, extending the fire area down to the first floor level. And that's what causes the sprinkler coverage, because they're converting from commercial to residential. And for that review, while I reviewed it, I saw the 2 exits, and the 1 exit goes into the interior exit enclosure. And you can see that there, where there's a mechanical closet and a utility closet opening up into the exit enclosure. That exists. It may be an existing condition, but it's not permitted. And I thought I would just bring that up to the board to see what they can do to address that dangerous condition.
And Chase, I'm sorry, this is Lieutenant Dimes. The entire building would need to be sprinklered, just not the converted portion. Is that accurate?
Yeah, because you extend the fire area, but if you make it a separate building, in the sense that if you provide the proper fire separation, you can do it.
It would just be that space. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's our intent.
What was that?
I think that's our intent, is to basically, our idea is everything that we're making new, or everything we're changing the occupancy of, our intent is to sprinkler all of that, just make that portion safer.
And would that be sprinklers off the domestic water or new service?
I'm not sure of that question. I don't know if, because of the limited scope,
I don't think you can do that.
but my gut would be no.
Commercial.
Yep.
But Wayne, it was commercial, but it's becoming residential, so.
Residential.
I think for the.
It would be it would be residential sprinklers.
Right, it could be R 13
Yeah.
coming in, yeah, just, but only for
13R.
serving that one space.
Could be a 13D for that one space?
No. You
No.
won't be able to.
13R?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what you're recommending? To put the 13R now?
We would propose 13R for the converted unit.
And would you extend that into that hallway that you're exiting from that unit to get to the side door?
That is our intent, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our intent is to, and primarily that is to kind of cover that utility space that is currently off of the shared stair. So
Okay.
we're hoping to add an added layer of security at that space.
Jace, does that address your concern about that particular space?
I mean, you're not supposed to have anything like a mailbox or mechanical closet in because those are and a utility area too. But if you know, that's the reason why they're in front of the board today, to see whether they can get that variance with those provisos. But
It is the fact that it's an existing condition, that's why we're here.
exactly.
I'm confused. I'm looking at this on Google, and I don't understand where these side doors are. I don't understand how you enter into that ground floor. It looks like you only have 4 feet of pipe there, but you're not showing a step down or anything from the street level. Is this, I don't know where the adjacent building is up to a point. I don't know what all these little, what look like openings that you're showing are, because there's an adjacent building right there.
I think the residential entry for all these units is it's the side door off of Carlisle. So if you go down Carlisle Street, look, I can show
Okay.
you. If you guys see my screen.
Yeah. Well,
So this is the residential entry door. And so, I did too far out. And so the central stair is there. And it's got feeds units off the side. And then the new unit we're talking about also accessed off the central stair here. But this is the one that also has a little bit further back. You can also directly exit out of that unit to the street.
if you run through the utility rooms,
No.
That's the other end, Amy.
that's what?
The other end, right?
Yeah, that's the other end. The utilities, the utility space is on Gerard.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'm sorry, I was reading it backwards.
Oh, sorry, yes, no, so this is Carlisle, this is Gerard,
Okay,
this is that central exit. This is us getting access to the new converted unit via the central entry, but also they have their own direct entry out.
okay, understood now.
Everybody good with that?
Amy?
I think we should focus.
Okay. All right, go to the breakout room. Okay, we have some concern about the mechanical room. What's in that?
What's that?
But that's okay.
It's basically water heaters and air handlers.
No, that little mechanical closet in the vestibule or in the entry
Oh.
lobby.
It's for that unit, it's just the water heater.
So is it the water heater and the air handler?
I think so.
It's the one that's in the stair enclosure. It's the water heater and air handler for the unit that we're converting.
Yeah. It's gonna be accessed from the unit somehow.
It's backed up against the bathroom, right? You know, we would have to like move plumbing. We'd have to basically reconfigure the entire bathroom to do that.
And I wanna make sure there is no more retreat.
I'm coming here because Ellen and I called it a dangerous condition to have a mechanical in the, entry.
Somebody has somebody talking in the background.
Yeah.
I think that's Kenna.
Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's in Mr. Jones's room.
That sounds better.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So, Aim, what were you saying?
Just whatever other ideas that we don't have this potential fire hazard in the main vestibule.
You know, I think that was why we were hoping to add a sprinkler head at that mechanical closet to, you know, hopefully deal with that issue if anything ever came up where that was a fire.
How's the fire department feel about that?
I've never really liked anything in stair towers, right? Because it's supposed to be a safe, benign, sterile environment to get out of a building. So, I mean, obviously up to you guys if you wanted to give the variance, but I never thought it was a great condition. It's an existing condition, so I know sometimes you give some weight to that. But all in all, if you're specifically asking whether or not there's an element of risk there, I would say absolutely.
And to tell the truth, we agree with that. We are here in front of you because this is an existing condition that we would typically never design it this way, obviously.
Is the door or the enclosure for the mechanical space, is that a rated partition, and are the doors rated and have on closers, or do you know?
I don't think they are. I don't think they are, but I think if that could definitely be an option, if this is something where we could agree to, you know, add layers of drywall and make it a fire rated door, I think we would be very open to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also, yeah, Jace, it hasn't come up yet. It's, oh, there, okay. Yeah, is the door going into the utility room across from that, is that, you know, on the closer?
I don't think it is either, but like I say, I think that we would, yes, we could make both of those rated doors on closers in addition to adding the sprinkler heads.
Okay.
Well, our
You're gonna
understanding.
sprinkle the whole floor, right? You're sprinkling the whole first floor?
We're gonna sprinkler, yeah, the converted unit and the stair enclosure. If you're asking us to sprinkle the utility room, we will as well.
Yes, we want you to do the first floor, correct?
No, completely reasonable, yes.
I know I'm not allowed to really tell you how to design anything, but do you know what the difference, what the distance is from this stair enclosure to the mechanical closet here? Is it at least 6 to 7 feet?
No, it's more like 5.
I think it's closer to 5, Jace.
Okay. Because I was thinking, like, if you put a 2-hour wall partition here, and if you make it run across here, then, you know, the residential unit, and if you put the door here, you can access the utility closet, but then at least this area right here would have a, you know, would have a 3-foot.
I see what you're saying, I just don't think we have the clearances.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, one thought is, given all that, maybe that, yeah, sprinkling the whole floor, but maybe there is a sprinkler head, you know, directly, you know, outside that mechanical room door. So that you're at least.
That has been our intent the whole time, yes.
Okay.
And you're saying that the kitchen and bathroom in that unit are existing?
They are.
You're not doing any work there?
No, this is literally changing the use from office to residential.
But you're saying it was simply used as office. It was originally, you know, a residential space.
Exactly.
So there was a washer and dryer there also?
I'm pretty sure there was, yeah. Like I said, I don't know why, when they got this use permit, they felt the necessity to call out that apartment as an office. Other than they were probably just using it as an office. And we don't know if it was like, this is a management office. We just know in the permit that was initially presented to us, it was presented as 6 residential units and 1 office.
Okay, so we're fine with the instructions that we gave them, or do you need you need a rated door aim going into that kitchen area?
Well, they would need that. Yeah, you need a
Okay.
rated door into the kitchen area, you need a rated door into the utility area. I'm assuming the wall between the kitchen and the apartment and the hallway is a rated wall. Yes?
I might even agree to add a layer of drywall just to make sure.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to make sure. It has to have a rated.
Yeah.
And then I guess if we're saying the mechanical, that little mechanical closet, not the double door, probably a rated door and a rated enclosure with a
Right.
sprinkler head.
It could be a rated oversized door, but a single door as opposed to a double door.
I know you guys are making it a separate fire area, but the horizontal assembly and the wall that's separating the residential unit from the exit enclosure, those are required to be 2 hours, so. I don't know. whether that's-
Understand.
So it's 2 hours between that unit and that hallway.
The same thing with the ceiling assembly.
Okay. But isn't that stair open, kind of going up to the second floor?
I think Jason's saying are you saying the ceiling in the apartment?
Ceiling in the apartment.
Oh, in the apartment. Oh, sorry, got it.
So it'll be like a little box. It's a separate fire area.
Okay, anything else?
I'm assuming the wall that the mailboxes are hung on is a rated wall as well.
I assume yes, but once again, we can go out there and take a look at it, cut some holes and make sure that if we are adding drywall everywhere else, we can definitely add some drywall there as well.
Yeah, it's really creating, you know, that separation between that lobby and the utility room, you know, which is sort of a jogging rated wall, you know, with a rated door in it. Because the stair, once you go up that stair, you're landing on the second floor in an open space, and you know that stair tower is open all the way up, really. I mean, we're not looking at the other floors, but I assume there's no, you know, no door separation until you get to the top.
That's correct.
Okay, anything else? All right,
Did we hit all the refusal items?
there was just 2?
Sprinkler coverage and just the utility and the mechanical closet opening into the exit enclosure and the mailbox.
Mm-hmm. So we covered
What's
everything,
the
am I
issue with
right?
the mailbox?
It's just you can't use it for anything else other than
Oh, the mailboxes aren't supposed to be in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one other thing I think this would happen anyhow is make sure there's exit signage as you come down that stair that, you know, gets you to that door if the lobby's full of smoke.
It's existing, but we'll make sure it's there, yes. It's,
Okay, anything else? All right, good luck.
all right, thank you.
All right.
Stop recording?
Yep.